I want to thank you for welcoming us, the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, so very warmly. Today, as you've heard, we mark the 4th anniversary of that January day in 2010, when Kittitians and Nevisians went to the polls and placed in our hands the honor of protecting and uplifting our blessed federation for the next 5 years. And for this, we give thanks. And with this, we have moved forward faithfully and responsibly, protecting the interests of all who live here and ensuring that there has been stability, there has been justice, and expanded opportunities for the people of our country, despite the economic woes being experienced in countries near and far. The St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party has committed itself to protect and uplift church, because this is what we see our responsibility as being. This is what we are philosophically committed to do. And indeed, this is why our party was founded. And so today, as we look back on the election that placed us in office back in 2010, I wish to reflect on the role of grace in our lives as a people. We are most blessed, my dear church, to live in a democracy, because in a democracy, the people and the people only, they decide via elections who will govern them. And this is truly a blessing indeed. Even more significantly, however, we are most blessed to live in a country that is familiar with the teachings found in our sacred text, because those teachings help us to put all things in perspective, to see all things in their true light, and to understand that all things and all persons are at all times subject to a higher power. And as Christians in a Christian society, that higher power is God Almighty for us. And we are fortunate in St. Kitts and Nevis to have been taught about God's grace and the role of grace in all that happens all around us. It is that grace that enabled us as a people to escape the brutality of slavery and the injustices of colonialism. It is that grace that gave us in St. Kitts and Nevis the right to have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It was that grace, my dear church, that enabled St. Kitts and Nevis, one of the tiniest nations in the world, to face, to fight, and to withstand, over the past 4 years, the most troubling economic depression the world has seen in almost 100 years. And to not merely withstand it, but to grow and to thrive, and to continue providing protections, opportunities, and advancement for all who live here in this blessed land. Over the past 4 years, my government has worked very hard. And today, blessings and mercy are all around us. Only the blind who refuse to see cannot see. But we as a government know that we did not do any of this alone. Indeed, It is Psalm 127 that reminds us that whatever any of us may achieve, whether it's a government, as a family, or as an individual, it is only possible through divine mercy. What is it then, even as children, were we taught? We were taught that except the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it. And except the Lord keeps the city, a watchman, he waketh but in vain also. It was we who have been laboring for the past 4 years, but it was a greater power that made all that we strove for possible. Again, it is Ephesians that reminds us that it is by grace that we have been saved through faith. Because whatever we may accomplish is not our own doing at all, but is a gift of God above. And so today, the Nevis Labour Party gives thanks. And we give thanks because we are mindful that ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. And so we give thanks for all that we have been able to accomplish over the past 4 years, and the grace that made it so. We see the dramatic impact on the lives of the young and of the old, businesses, large and small, in the lives of the strong and in the lives of the weak. Indeed, this is happening not only in St. Kitts, but in the sister island of Nevis as well. And indeed, we give thanks for the grace that caused the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party to be formed in the first place some 82 years ago, and for the grace that permitted our party to bring so many sweeping and historic changes into the lives of Kittitians and Nevisians. And so today, we bow before the grace that gave our party the energy to seek the support of our nation in 2010, and to win the overwhelming support of our nation as well. With the entire nation, my dear church, we rejoice in grace, in the grace that has caused our federation over the past 4 years to be publicly and repeatedly praised by respected institutions and persons all across the globe. Most importantly, the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party acknowledges the grace that has caused the people of our country to stand with us and to work with us and to keep the best interest of our federation uppermost in our minds at all times. It's only by the grace of God that we have continued to receive their support. Reminded, of course, where we are 1 year ago. And so today, as we always have and we always will, we continue to humble ourselves and to pray. We as members of the federal cabinet and as the candidates, as representatives of our constituencies, we together today before you seek the face of God as we were taught so to do. And I believe that he will hear us, as he always has, when more than 2 of us are gathered together in his name. May we of the St. Kitts-Nevis forever. Give thanks. Give thanks for our many blessings. And may God continue to guide and to protect. Guide and protect us as always. God bless you. Thank you.